Hey, good morning, guys. It's Saturday morning. It's a beautiful day out. No humidity. Let's see what the temp is. I'm taking this weekend off, man. Let my body heal up. 80 degrees. Look at that humidity. None to speak of. Just gorgeous today, man. Sun feels good on my back. Anyways, I want to do a little tailgate talk today about see this box here. I bought this box. It was full of shit, and I can tell you that I was really disgusted with how much this shit cost. $860. But I want to show you some of the things that I stock on my truck. These guys right here I had to buy. I have a jet sweat kit, and I bought it 25 years ago, the complete kit, and unfortunately the rubbers have all shit the bed on me. But you know, I just need 1/2 inch, 3/4, and 1 inch. I really don't get into bigger stuff than that. But these are invaluable, man, if you can't get water to stop running. And so I bought a couple of these, get my jet sweats working again. This is all standard stuff that I use. This is the plumber's grease that I have on my truck. I really like the plastic tubs. These things are hard for me to open, especially if your hands are dirty and greasy. So I stock that on my truck. This is a nice kit, man. It comes with two elements, two upper and lower thermostats, and if somebody wants you to rebuild their water heater, it's a nice kit. And you know, then if the person wanted, you could throw a new anode rod in there and possibly extend the life of that water heater. I don't use a lot of clear DAP, but this DAP, I've always used DAP. I stopped using these tubes because I don't know if the DAP was just old during COVID, wasn't getting used, but I was having a hard time getting it out of these tubes, so I went to the caulking gun style tubes of DAP. Same thing, same ingredients, same material, but just in a caulking gun style. But I need some clear every once in a while. I've got a kitchen sink on a undermount granite countertop type deal, and you need some of this shit, so it goes on white and turns clear when it's finished. These are the basket strainers that I stock. I did buy some cheap ones off of Amazon, you know, from China, and they just don't work, man. The threads on them and the depth of the nut just have a hard time. You can't really tighten them up. So these are the ones that I buy. I also buy a deep strainer with the brass nut. These are more for like a stainless steel sink. I stay away from those ones with the nut on them that you turn on the bottom, and the nut actually touches a friction ring in the gasket. Those things are just junk, man. They don't seal right. They're always going to be an issue. So I had to restock them. Obviously down here, mowing is a predominant faucet in this area. I go through a lot of these 1225Bs, so I needed to get some of them. I also go through a lot of PosiTemp cartridges, the 1222B. So I got some of them. These are just, this is the CPVC glue that I use. It's a one-step glue, and I like the small cans because it goes bad. If you buy a bigger can, I end up actually throwing away probably 1/4 of this can every time I open one. You need to make sure if it's gooey or gummy looking, you need to throw it out. But this is the CPVC glue that I use, and this is what I've been calling Florida one step. because that's what I use in a cabinet. It's good glue, and I challenge anybody to glue 2 pieces of pipe together, put a fitting, a 90 on a piece of 1.5 inch, and use this glue without primer, and come back a day or 2 later and try to get that apart. I guarantee you're going to struggle getting that apart. So for the guys who bitch at me about not using primer in a cabinet, do what you do, but I'm going to continue to do what I do. I did buy a rather than using, I used to use these things, you know, I've got them. This is what we use doing new construction, these cans here, and they're great little cans, but my recommendation for you is, if you're gonna do it and you're just doing service work, I just bought a brand new one like that, nice clean one. But if you're gonna do it using service work, just fill up the primer like halfway, buy a pint or 16 ounces, and then fill up the glue side is fine. But you need that space above the primer to shake off that dauber, because the shit's so liquid it just drips all over the place, and it's a hassle, man. You could fucking seriously ruin something. That shit gets down into some grout or a cabinet, it can just ruin things and could cost you a lot of money. So I never bring primer into a finished house. That's just how I do it. One of the other things that I stock are these Gerber 3-handle tub and shower rebuild kits. It comes with everything, man. It's got the diverter, the 2 stems, all brass, and you know something? This whole kit with handles, 3 brass stems, seats, gaskets, all of that shit is less than this cartridge. Where the fuck is the justice in that? I don't know, but I keep this on my truck. We've got a lot of older houses down here with the 3-handle Gerber. I needed to restock my PVC fittings. I've got these blue bins up here, and I stock in there 2-inch and 1.5-inch fittings. Pretty much every fitting you can think of. And then up in the back, I've got a big bin that's got 3-inch and 4-inch fittings in it. Try to stay away from getting into the bigger shit, but when you're replacing stacks, you know, damaged cast iron, you need 3-inch. So I've always used these Hub Union Hub P-traps rather than the tubular. They're just better. And what's nice about these is sometimes on a stoppage, if you've got these traps, you can run your cable right through the drain on the sink, right through this trap and into the waste arm, and clear the stoppage. Obviously you want to put a bucket under there in case it blows out, but the likelihood of this Schedule 40 trap blowing out is very nil. If it were a tubular trap, I wouldn't try that. The one good thing about tubular traps are, if you take it off, you know, it's got a mechanical joint on the discharge side, and so you get a straight shot into the waste arm. Some of these are trap adapters that I use. These are 1.5 by, and they're fitting, meaning they're going to go right into the trap. This is pipe size, and sometimes on these deeper kitchen sinks, you need these, because otherwise a regular trap adapter is going to be too high. So I keep these, and every once in a while I have to use them. The other thing that I like, and I've always bought this style of trap adapter, 1.5 by 1.25 inch, and then 1.5 by 1.5 inch. And I just don't like this style. They sell you this, and it's got 2 gaskets. It comes with an 1.25 inch gasket and an 1.5 inch gasket. Well, I always feel like that 1.25 inch, when you use that, you just don't get the squeeze on it that you need, where I'm comfortable with it. So I prefer a regular 1.5 by 1.25 trap adapter. Another thing that I buy are these Jones Stevens, great supplier. I buy these dishwasher adapters. They've worked well for me. They will dry out over the course of 10 years or so, and just got to make sure that you're not bending this. If it's going in straight, you shouldn't have an issue with it for the life of whatever. One of the other things I buy are these. I stock a bunch of trip levers, and honestly, if I pull out a toilet that's got a strange trip lever on it, instead of just throwing it out, I'll save it, because you may not be able to get that trip lever again. So I've got a bunch of different trip levers, but I go through a lot of these. We've got a lot of Kohler Wellworth toilets in this area. This is that lever that mounts on the side of the tank on a Kohler toilet. Got an assortment of no hub bands, Fern Co's. I got these guys right here, which go from, these are mission couplings that go from 1.5 copper to 1.5 PVC, which are really good. It's a nice rigid attachment, unlike these Fern Co's. They're kind of sloppy, the pipe's moving around. This is going to give you a better connection. I really like them. I also have them for 2-inch copper down to up to 2-inch PVC, so they work out good. Then I have an assortment of reducing Fern Co's. I've got these mission couplings, which I didn't have the other day on a particular job I did. It didn't really make a difference, but I prefer to have these when I'm adapting, going from cast iron to PVC, and I needed to get some more of these on my truck. So that's some of the stuff. And then these, we used to call these Can't Leak. I think Can't Leak was a brand name. The company may have gone out of business, but I'm using these Johnny rings. They've got the horn. I always use them on a second floor, and I just sleep better knowing that I've got this horn that's going to get by, even if there's a hairline crack in a flange that I don't know about. This water's going to go by that. And I hear a lot of guys complaining about these, that they're a problem. They're only a problem if your toilet, after you set it, is moving. If you shim and caulk your toilet in, that toilet should not move, ever. If a toilet's moving, it's not set properly, guys. So anyways, those are the wax seals that I use. This wax seal here comes with the Kohler toilets, which are gummy as hell. They're nasty to work with. You better have some gloves on when you start trying to get this thing off. But the bolts that are in the box are so hard that if you try to cut one bolt with your mini hacksaw, it's gonna dull the blade, and you'll be replacing blades all day or taking all day to cut a fucking bolt. But I want to show you something. I get this magazine from this company, American Van Equipment, and broke down last week, and I bought this thing that's circled. It's a tower of drawers. It's 12 inches wide. Each drawer is 6 inches deep, and it's 50 inches long. It goes in, I'm gonna put it on right here at the back door up against that wall, and the drawers are full extension. You can pull them out 50 inches, and that's a lot of storage. It's gonna make my truck a lot more organized. And on top of it, because it only comes up 2 feet, I'm going to be able to build a aluminum box there on top of that for like my shovels, pinch bars, probe rod, meter key, all that shit. Pipe wrenches if I want. Hanging these pipe wrenches are kind of an issue. I got to take them down because over time they just they unroll and they fall apart, you know. So I need to get them off there. But it's gonna be nice to get these shovels off of these doors, and then I can figure out something else to do on these doors. But yeah, I'm gonna try to get my truck more organized, more service oriented than it is now, because I have to have so much shit, man. I mean, it's amazing. This is all toilet stuff: flappers, cola flappers, Toto flappers, all kinds of shit. And this is my copper tray, my copper bin. I've got a bunch of copper fittings and that needs to be straightened out. But this one, I've got like 32 plastic bins in here, and each one is designated. Like, this is trip levers for toilets. This is ice maker shit. This is just miscellaneous everything, you know, leftover parts. But it's not working for me anymore. I need to get that straightened out. I'm hoping a lot of this stuff goes in to that new bin that I'm getting. This is basically stock, you know what I mean? Brand new parts. And then this bin here has always been my tool bin. But the CPVC fittings I don't use much. I use 90s couplings, 1/2 inch and 3/4. But all of this shit's gonna go into that new tray that I'm getting, that new box. And I'm gonna really make this a nice compartment for tools. I've got all my supplied tubes, all different kinds, on this little box that I made here. And then I took the front seat out of my truck because I never used it and it was kind of in the way. I needed that space. So I'm set up here. I've got a couple of vacuums. This vacuum here is basically for clean stuff. I've got one about the same size for like tearing shit apart, nasty, you know, getting into nasty shit. This is what I bring into people's houses. I got a Milwaukee fan here. I got all my batteries mounted. I do have one of those 18-volt Milwaukee portable vacuums, which work great. This is where my tool bag sits and all my, I basically use DeWalt tools more so than the Milwaukee. But I want to show you something which is pretty cool. See if I can find it. They sell an adapter for you guys out there who have Milwaukee tools like this guy. You got old tools like this, they sell an adapter that goes into this tool, and you can use the new batteries. You can use this battery in this tool, and I bought a couple of them. I have them somewhere in here, but yeah, it's a waste, you know, all those old DeWalt tools, man. I've probably got 30 fucking drills and hammer drills, and so that's my tailgate talk for today. Just trying to it's always a job, man. Every weekend I gotta come out here and straighten my shit out, you know. And I need to look at that invoice for this stuff, because boy, that looks really fucking expensive for $860. I don't know what the fuck. Maybe I bought a couple water heaters too that I forgot about. But yeah, I'm gonna have to look closely at this. Seems like an awful lot of fucking money for this. But fuck, it looks like a couple $100 worth of shit to me. Might have to go in there and kick some ass fucking Monday. Anyways, guys, I want to show you the fucking crazy mutts before I end this video. This is my second take. Unfortunately, I tried to do a video in 5G. That new phone that I got, I had issues with my phone last week. I had to Had to get new phones. One of them's a 5G, the Samsung 22, whatever, fucking highfalutin phone. But I did the whole video and I can't get it to load up, so we're gonna try something. I went back to my old standard. What's up, Nate? Gussie! Yo! Come on, you crazy mutts! What's up, man? Hey!
Come here, Gussie! What you doing, man? Oh, boy! Oh, boy! Oh, boy! He's up from man! Say hello! Say hello to the camera! Hey, Bella! Come here! Oh! Oh! That's my sweet girl! My sweet doggies! Yes!
Say hello! Okay! Come here, Gussie. Get up here, say hi, man. She's a screamer. Bella is a screamer. Look at Gus. Get on the bus, Gus.
What you doing, man? What you doing, you big goofy bastard?
7 months old, man. He's gonna be a fucking beast. Come here, you guys. Hey, shut up, Bella. Shut up. Look at this guy. He's already bigger than Bella. Hey, Gussie. You a good boy? Hey, Bella. Gussie. Tell everybody how you didn't shit in the house last night.
Yeah, you didn't shit in the house.
Alright, guys. Enjoy this video. Hopefully you learned something. And we're going to be back at it Monday. You got my shit squared away. You got my camera. I really struggled last week trying to get stuff up online. Things didn't work. I finally just said, fuck it. You know? Sometimes you just got to throw in the towel. Get out of there, Gussie. Hey! Alright, guys. Have a great weekend. Look at this schlep over here. Look at this guy. Hey, Nate!
Howdy.
What are you doing?
Going through some music for tonight.
Nate, I still got your computer over there, bro. You need to get that thing fixed?
I need it by Valentine's Day.
Well, fuck. That's a ways off. Alright, I'll get you hooked up.
Yep.